but I want to show you all that the Lord's been doing in Lima, Peru. Here's a short report. After a cold 2 months in Poland and Slovenia, I was able to come to sunny and warm Peru. Peru is so dry because it never rains here, so it's dry in some places, but in other places, like the church office for La Casa del Padre, it was a virtual paradise. We went into auditions and we had a huge selection of actors, which makes for an excellent cast. The more actors, the better the ensemble. We went into production and had a good team to work with. I had a chance to speak to the church, pastored by dear friends Guillermo and Milagros Aguayo. The same week I arrived, my pastor of missions for my home church in Dallas, Texas, Ralph Holland, visited Peru, and I was able to introduce him to several wonderful pastors here. Rehearsals began, and I was able to work with some amazing actors like José Luis Ruiz, seen here on the left, who is a famous actor of television and films in Peru. Speaking of films, I was part of a video project in Dallas, so I had to fly back to Dallas to be part of a dream team videotaping a motivational series with good friend Mark Casetta. I loved the time back in Dallas, although it was very hectic and very short. I was also interviewed by Mark for his iTunes video podcast. From there I had to dash back to Peru, where my actors were hard at work. I had the chance to meet the Peruvian director of the Ministry of Culture, Renata Teodori de la Puente, who wanted to know more about Cornerstone Arts. She was so excited she called in her staff to watch my videos of what I'm doing around the world. She then invited me to come back this year to do a musical for the school children of Peru. Wow, what an opportunity! We had some recording sessions for the show, and we worked on the decorations for the production. Promotions were going well, and there were posters and banners everywhere. Now it was time to move into the theater, but something terrible had happened. The producer, who although he had a good heart, thought he could handle a lot of the production on his own, now found out that, in fact, he could not. It was the day of the show, and we were desperately behind because a lot of the work had not been done. Now what? Well, we started praying. Still, I worked with the actors to make sure that they were prepared, and I continued to do interviews as if though everything was just going great. Talk about words of faith. We were practicing with no set on the day of the show. Finally, it was time for the show to open, and we were not ready. By the time that the audience had arrived, we closed the curtains, and we just continued to work behind the curtains. While the audience waited, we prayed, and we had no choice but to begin. Well, once again, God's amazing grace came through and gave us a beautiful production with complete sets. Can you believe it? The audience loved the show, and best of all, we had a huge response to the altar call. Altogether, 400 people responded to the invitation for Christ. Praise the Lord. I'm so grateful to dear friends Paula Carrillo, seen here on the left, and to José Luis Ruiz for their amazing help to make this show a huge success. Most of all, I'm grateful to the pastors Aguayo, Milagros, seen on the left, and Guillermo on the right for their vision for Lima. I flew out of Lima, Peru, and went on to Albany, New York. Well, as you can see, we had a wonderful and a very fruitful time there in Lima, Peru. And now it's on to Albany, New York. And I want to show you something. Right behind me is the Egg. This is the Performing Arts Center here in Albany, New York, where we're going to be doing the Judgment Seat. So please keep us in prayer, won't you? Well, for more information, you can log on to www.cornerstonearts.com. But for now, we got a lot of work to do. That's it. For Cornerstone Presents, I'm Richard Montez.